Hello, everybody, and welcome to One Day Today. We have a very special episode today. I have a chance to introduce our wonderful board of directors, the people who have joined hearts and hands with us, just amazing, extraordinary leaders. And it's just, I'm humbled and honored just to know them and the fact that they're just joining hearts with us and, creating this movement and bringing this vision to reality. And it's just really exciting for me to just have this opportunity to introduce you all to our board, to our directors. I've shared a lot about our mission and our vision, and I'll go back into it. What we're doing here one day is, it's so much bigger than just about me or you or just one person. It's about something way bigger that we can create together, and that's what our mission is about, is bringing you and me and communities together in joyous celebration, unifying humanity in our diversity to create a better world for us all. And that's why we're here. This organization is just getting started. We are just putting the bricks in our foundation to be able to be in every city, every country worldwide, and every state in the US, to just share one day and share the gifts that everybody in every community has, that we all can share and receive together. So first, I'd like to introduce our vice president. We have Judy Feldhausen. Hi, Judy.
Well, hi, Abram. That's so great to be here.
Oh, we're so happy to have you. I'm just so excited. You inspire me with just not only all the work that you're up to, you're just such a force of just love and compassion, and you get it done. And I'm just so excited to to have you. So thank you for being with us today, Judy.
Well, it's great to be here, and it's great to actually be connected with One Day. I actually met Abram through a different organization, and I just got a message. We were both in a meeting together, and I got a message from one of my friends and said, "I just met someone that you need to meet." And she was absolutely right. We did connect after that, and Abram, you shared your mission and vision with me, and it just touched my heart, because that has been who I've been for so many years. I live in a real small community. There's 30,000 people in our community. We're a close-knit community, but we're very diverse. Our kindergarten class a few years ago had children from 29 different languages and countries. Just amazing. We actually have a diversity committee or commission that our village has started, and their focus is called Unity in Diversity, because we are a community that has people from every walk of life. You never know what language you're going to hear. And guys, I live in the Midwest. I live outside Chicago. So it is not normally a place that has a lot of diversity, but for some reason, our little community has so many different people in it. And, I always like to look at people for who they are on the inside, not what they look like on the outside. Years ago, I was actually in a cosmetics company, and I always said, I'm not selling cosmetics. What I'm selling is freedom and choice to the women that I was serving at the time. Because, anyone can teach someone how to put makeup on, but it's different when you can help them see themselves in a different way. And so from that journey, I continued my business journey, and now I get to actually work with people in cardiovascular health. And that's also something that's on the inside. So One Day really touches me and what I am, who I am, because of just my upbringing and my community. When I was raised as a child, I had no diversity in my community. I mean, we thought that the Italians on the south side of town were diverse. That was really it. We had no people from other countries. We had no people from spoke other languages except a little bit of Italian now and then. So when I moved to Chicago, oh my gosh, it was such an amazing thing for me to see all these different people and all these different beliefs. And you know what I found was deep down, we all kind of have the same beliefs. At least we have the same values, respect and integrity and honesty. And if we can share those values with other people, we're all going to be united because we can all respect, honor, and love one another. And I really believe that this is what One Day is about. It's not about specific diversity or a specific nationality or a color or a race or a creed or anything like that. It really is about uniting us together so that we can make the world a better place, so that we can understand one another from the inside and really get to know them. In coaching, we call it a deeper dive. And if you can get into a deeper dive with someone and really know what makes them tick, and you can understand them, then you can help them, you can honor them, and you can help them figure out what they need next. And that's what One Day is all about. So I'm so happy to be the vice president of this organization. I am meeting so many amazing people on the board. Wait till you hear the rest of the people. They are so professional in their own right. Whether they have a business or not, doesn't make any difference. They are amazing, amazing board members. So I'm looking forward to the future of One Day and how it's actually going to be today that the world has changed. So thank you so much, Abram, for allowing me to be here today.
Thank you so much, Judy. It's incredible. Just I'm so glad that we've crossed paths and that, you know, what we're creating, you know, it's just so exciting, you know, just because we've barely unveiled, you know, really the depth of what this is we're creating. But it's ultimately about, you know, bringing community, like what you're saying, being united in our diversity. You know, we all have gifts. Each community, each individual has gifts that we are enriched by when we actually recognize and experience and focus on that. And that's the heart of what makes One Day what it is. So I'm just so excited. Thank you so much for sharing. I want to we're going to check back with you in a moment where I want to have a conversation with everybody, but I'm going to keep going down the line here. Let me introduce Shiva Kumar, our international director in India. We'll check back with you in a moment, Judy. Hello, Shiva. How are you?
Thank you for receiving me. Yeah, thank you. I'm very grateful in associating with One Day. Basically, I am a helping tendency person. Okay, and this gives me a platform to show my helping tendency. Am I audible?
Shiva, sorry to interrupt you. It's still a little bit quiet. Could you speak a little bit louder?
Hello? Yeah. Am I audible?
I hear you. It's just still pretty quiet.
Okay. Now is it okay? Am I audible now?
We hear you. It's very quiet.
Oh. Hello. Am I audible now? Is it okay?
We hear you. If you can come a little bit closer to the microphone.
Yeah. Is it okay? Hello.
It's a little bit better.
Yeah. I have been. I'm basically having a helping. I'm basically having a helping tendency to help others. Okay, and this platform really gives me to show my kindness. Okay, and basically I worked with an housing finance company for the past 2 decades. And particularly, I am involved in the field of recovery. There, I find it many persons, even though they have an intention to make the payments, they have some difficulties in making it. And for them, I used to counsel them and how to come out from the problem. Like that, I used to give many inputs and many ways to come out. And during the course of my working thing, I have came across so many people. He really wants to come up with their life, but because of financial difficulties or some other thing, even though they got their own skills, they are not able to come up. But at the same time, because of my working nature, where I cannot able to move on freely, so I decided to give up my job in order to help them. And this one day actually matches my thought. So I really thank Mr. Satya to bringing me inside this one day movement. And another thing I want to mention, both myself and Satya are childhood friends. Right? We have been from kindergarten school friends, and he too has the same wavelength of helping others and bringing women's upliftment in various fields. He is also having an interest, and I too have the same interest on that. And I think God has made us to combine with Him, and through that I am coming to one day. It is a great experience for me, and it's a privilege to be along with you to work for this organization. Thank you for Abe and Satya for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, Abe. Thank you.
Thank you, Shiva, for sharing. It was still a little bit hard to hear you, but I heard the gist of everything you were saying. And as I said, he is our international director in India, and we actually already have an office in where you're located in Chennai, correct?
Yeah,
is it in Chennai?
Located in Chennai. Yeah, in Chennai. I'm located in Chennai. Yeah.
Well, it's such a pleasure to just to be working with you, and just with all the work that you do, and in community development, helping women and helping children. We're up to really exciting things, and it's exciting to me that I keep joking about this. We have an office in India before we even have an office in our hometown here in Nashville. So you have our first official office.
Yes. The moment this came up, I just put up my word, put up my thought. Why want to have a separate office in order to have a lot of activities? And in due course, we are planning to appoint a person also, dedicated person, to work on the projects. Yeah.
Can you lean in a little bit closer to the computer, because the microphone on your that you're wearing, it doesn't seem to be picking up. I think it's on the microphone on your computer.
Oh, one second.
So Shiva is doing some amazing work. And when I met him through Satya, our president, who I will introduce in a moment. But just doing some amazing work in India. And when I heard that we have an office opening up in India, I could hardly believe it. And Shiva, basically with the kindness and the generosity in his heart, decided to donate an office and the use of an office, which he is directing for one day in India. Hi, Shiva. I think I can hear you better now.
Yeah.
Now we hear you.
Yeah.
All right, so start all over again. No, just kidding. So what were you saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it was hard to hear you.
Yeah, the reason, the moment this one, the one day movement comes out, a dedicated office, I thought a dedicated office is a must. So I immediately provided, showed my interest in having an office. And in due course, we are going to appoint a person, dedicated person, to grow to make one day popular. So we are in the process of appointing a person too. Am I audible? Hey, am I
Beautiful.
audible? Yeah.
Yes, you're audible. It's still a little quiet, but we're improvising. We're rolling with the punches. So we're gonna
Okay.
thank you so much for sharing, Shiva. We're gonna check back with you in a moment here. We're gonna keep going down the line, and we're gonna have a conversation at the end. But thank you for sharing. We're gonna check back with you in just one moment. So next, you might recognize this next director because he's also our co-host. I want to introduce Matthew. Hey, brother. It's official. We have. How's it going? Can you hear us, Matthew? I can't hear you. Seems like it's one of those days. I need some background music here. If I had this. If you can hear our president Satya was just singing in the background. Well, I'm gonna while we're figuring out those technical difficulties, I'm gonna go down the line. I'm gonna let Satya introduce himself. So now I want to introduce you to our president, Dr. Satya Gopalan. Oh, Matthew's back. Cancel that. Hey, you there?
Can you actually hear me now?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes. There we go. Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's definitely one of those days. Like, was it all the astrology people would always say that Mercury is in retrograde when there's communication issues? It just seems like that all the time lately. 2020. We'll just blame that because everything else is 2020. Can you hear me or not? So I kind of came to one day a really weird way. I met Abram when he was my roommate at a leadership summit, and we just kind of were talking about it and playing with it. And he brought up that everyone always says one day the Israelis and the Palestinians will play together, and one day the Indians and the Pakistanis will be able to play together. One day. Well, why can't we just start living one day today for ourselves? And as we live it for ourselves, and that is shared with the world, then maybe it'll just grow. Maybe it will be one day all the time for everybody. And when he asked me to come on board and start really helping with this, it was a fairly positive yes. This normally isn't my bag of tricks. This normally isn't where I want to be. Like, I don't tend to be in the spotlight. I don't tend to be in a leadership position. But this felt appropriate for some reason. And as I've been playing with it, as I've been working with you guys on the virtual stage and doing the deep dives and things like that, what I have found is my reason for being here at One Day has been to really start the conversations, to really provoke introspection. And what I mean by that is, Judy was talking about how this is a movement of unity, and it's not a movement of like any particular system of unity, but just coming together as people and learning from each other. Well, what are the things that are actually stopping that? That is the question. What is it in each one of us that prevents us from seeing ourselves in our neighbor? And those are the conversations that I tend to dive into. And it doesn't have to be with a big group of people. It doesn't have to be in front of a huge audience. In fact, most of the time, it seems to be much more effective just one-on-one, and really asking the questions, what's stopping you? Because we all can live this today. Like it's not like it's anything that's impossible, and it's not like anything that other people aren't already living. It's just, have we consciously made the choice? Do we even know there's a choice? If we make the choice and it's scary or hard, or like we start going back into old habits and patterns, what's the source of those? Like what are we scared of? What do we think is going to happen if we start living this way? And that's kind of where I live. And there's one more thing that kind of ties on that I've talked about on the virtual stage before, and that is, in some ways, I see life as a funnel. We're born in this kind of innocent, pure, whole state. And as we grow, we are taught what other people think the world is. And the more we're taught, the more we take on, the more we start to believe what other people tell us, the further away we seem to get from what we truly are, our true selves. And so it's like sort of the same reach. Basically, like I see it as we start speeding up in this funnel. And the faster we go, the more we believe, the more we start to think, the more we create a reality for ourselves based on what everyone else has told us. The higher up in the funnel we go, because we start accelerating, and the further away from our true selves we get. And so part of what I see this as is a break in the funnel, like literally something that, like, when you come across it, it slows you down so that you start falling further down the funnel instead of continuing to go up and start falling down to your true self.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, you're just like
a lot of the invitation, and again, this is part of the conversation, is slowing down, taking more time to do less things, noticing more, paying attention to more of what's going on internally, and really taking the time to ask yourself, what am I? Who am I? What did I come here for? And that's kind of it. Like that's where I'm sitting right now. I haven't really defined that role within the directorship, other than maybe just coaching some of the other directors, maybe coaching some of the teachers as they come in, continuing to do the virtual stage and the deep dives, and we'll see what happens from there. So that's me in a nutshell. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And this has been a wild ride, and we're only getting started. I totally I love what you're saying about, the funnel, and it's like what I kind of call is like it's a network of conversations. Whether we could focus on the fear, we could focus on the suffering, we could focus on the chaos that is happening, but when we just focus on that we resist that, we just get more of that. When we just act in resistance, we're not for something. We're not. It's like, and what one day is we're creating a new era, a new conversation. We're not beholden to the conversations of separation and division that have limited us to our, what I'll call our inauthentic selves, limited us to our small. We identify with our smallness as opposed to how big and powerful and beautiful we all truly are. And it's been a pleasure just being on this journey with you, just connecting with people and having conversations with people from all over the world, pointing to that same connection that, we can point and share beauty that we create together.
It's our choice. And that's the biggest part of the conversation is pointing that out and getting people to recognize that it's our choice.
It always is. It's our choice right now, and right now, and right now. It's always our choice. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing, brother. We'll check back with you in one moment. I'm going to keep going down the line here. Next, we have our secretary, Heather Schoen.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Hi, Abram. How are you?
Hi. Fantastic. I'm just going to give you a moment to thank you for joining us. I just wanted to give you a moment to introduce yourself. We'll talk in a moment. I'm going to just let you share.
Okay. Well, my name is Heather Schoen, And I am the secretary for this incredibly fabulous organization, this movement to create a possibility for people in sharing their gifts with one another such that we come to new, unknown, never thought of, brand new experiences, art, music, dance, technology, science, curing cancer. All of those things are possible with this one day movement because we have the opportunity to use each other. And that's what we all want to do, I believe, is just be used for what we can contribute to this planet, to our globe. There's so much that needs to be done right this minute. And this is it. This is it. This is one day. It's not going to be tomorrow. It wasn't yesterday. It's today. And I met Abram. I don't know if you want me to get into this now or just introduce myself. Abram.
You can give a little bit of the story of how we met, but also
Okay.
just what is one day to you and who are you to one day and what do you see as possible?
Okay. Well, I think I just said what I see as possible is everything and anything. I see people growing with this movement and in the creation of everything, starting with language, which is our tool and our way of touching each other, communicating with each other, making a difference for each other, inspiring each other, empowering each other, sharing with each other. That's what I see is the one day experience for me, is the one day possibility for me. My background is I'm a 50-year veteran of broadcasting and communications, media, and federal public service. I spent years in radio, advertising, marketing, all of that stuff. And then I went to the government and I applied it there. I worked at the Environmental Protection Agency and I worked for FEMA and I went on all kinds of disasters, met all kinds of incredibly diverse people all throughout the country. And then I had the great opportunity, the blessing to work in the White House with Bill Clinton. And that was incredibly awesome. I worked in communications and outreach, and we, at that point, everything was so beautiful. It was like a different world from where we are today. There was conversations like this, how do we empower people? When I worked at the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, we came up with all the marketing for the recycling, what's now part of our life and part of our everyday conversation. Our language is, has recycling in it, and that was a new word when we first started. So that's kind of exciting. I just thought of that. And I'm here to be used for my experience. I've had incredible experiences throughout my life that can make a difference in people, can provide people with maybe something that they're missing, or they can't see something, or they want to do something and they don't know how to access themselves. They don't know how to bring themselves forth. And I can coach people in that area very, very well. And I love the idea of working with people like that to design their contribution. What is it that each one of us wants to contribute to one day? What do we want to contribute to the world, to the globe? And I'm very, very excited. I'm different than our previous sharer. I met Abram on a phone call. It was called the Tipping Point Project, and it was it still is. It's not. It was but we were on the call way back in January of this year, if you can believe it. And Abram shared about this vision he had for one day. And as soon as he said it, I didn't miss a beat. I said, I want to support you. I got the whole vision like gestalt. I just got it. And I was so excited. I said, anything I can do to make a difference for you, I will. And we worked together on writing some stuff. And I just feel honored to be in Abram's world. He rocks it. He really, really rocks it. I have never met somebody at his age that has accomplished and created quite as much as he has. And I like that. I want to be around that. I say that this project is going to be fulfilled. We will produce results. We will create a world that works for everyone, which is what the tipping point call was all about. How do you cause a tipping point in the world such that transformation is there and possible for everyone, and have a world that works for everyone with nothing and no one let out. Let's see what else. I'm just really thrilled to be here. All the people that I've met are of such a high caliber. I am impressed with each and every, not impressed, I'm delighted to be amongst these people who have such diverse backgrounds, very, compelling people, and people you want to be around, people you want to learn from. And I think that's the distinction of One Day, that the people that have joined together at this point are of an unusual brand of people, and an interesting, very, very interesting collaboration of people who have talents and experience that just, go across the board. Whatever you want, you can get something out of. If you're a writer, if you're a scientist, if you're a technician, if you're into the technology, the virtual stage. Look at this. I didn't even know what a virtual stage was a couple of months ago. And that's about it for me. I just want to be used. I want to make a difference. I want people to feel comfortable with me in seeking out their dreams and their visions for a world that works. I guess we can start with a country that works, and a state that works, and a local area that works. And we can build and build and build and build on that, and just create transformation every day in every way. People are inspired to create in the act of creation. And I think that's it.
Thank you so much, Heather. You are so inspiring. I love your passion, and I admire you're wanting to serve. Like, you're just so about service and just supporting everybody. And it's just so natural that how we cross paths. And I'm just so excited to have you just joining hearts and hands with our movement. And I'm just excited. Just like the other day, Heather and I were just talking, and it's like, what can I do? What can I do to help? And she's always there to support and to help, and she is just a vessel for contribution and service. And I'm just so honored to just be joining hands with you, and just to create this new journey, this new paradigm that we're on together.
It's fabulous. It's really fabulous. It's so what's wanted and needed at this time. It's just right there. It's like the opening is there. The space has been created. The clearing is created, and we're just stepping into it. And it's beautiful. And when that happens, it's right. It's right from the start. The integrity is in on a not just the our own personal integrity, but on a global level. The integrity is right. On a physical level, the integrity is right. And that's what's going to make this work. I get that one of the things that's going to make this project work, this movement, is the integrity that we all bring to it. And you, Abram, are the one that sourced it. You are the source of it. Everyone that you see here is what you sourced, what you created. And I love it. I think you're just so inspiring. It's a thrill to be around you. And let's create some miracles.
That's
and
what
money.
we're here to do. Those can come hand in hand. Thank you so
Yes.
much,
You're
Heather, for
welcome.
sharing. You're amazing. I'm gonna introduce our president, Dr. Satya Gopalan. Nadine Joy, our international director in Canada, had an emergency with one of her clients, so she's not going to be joining us today. But I would like to introduce you to my dear friend and our president, Dr. Satya Gopalan. Satya, swap.
Tang. Hi guys, my name is Satyan Gopalan, and I happen to be the president in One Day Movement. It's an interesting story how all these things happen. I met Abraham through one of my friend. He came to visit me for dinner at my house, and as soon as he comes, I feel like I know him from a long time. And then he came upstairs. We just had a regular chat, like who am I and who is he and stuff like that. Within 5 minutes, he started pouring the idea of One Day. And as he was talking, I was imagining the song Imagine. So I felt like John Lennon has reborn. So it's like, oh, this is beautiful. It's such a great thought to start with, to begin with, international holiday for everyone and children communities, and empowering women and developing people and sharing the gifts of one another, all like as one whole stuff. I was like fascinated. I don't have much to say, honestly, because already our vice president, she's the wisest president I ever had, and come to know Miss Judy and Matthew and Heather, Shivakumar, Nadine, and other directors who is not here. We are working like a kind of triads, myself and Shivakumar and Abraham on one side, and myself and Heather another side, Matthew and Judy. We are working like side by side. The beauty part of this is all the mind and heart is connected as a same wavelength. We are all thinking the same. We are all here to help others. It's like a Gandhi code, or it's like a Jesus code. It's like every other beautiful people who came here. All their quotes is like help other. The purpose of life is whatever you didn't get, give it to others, share it to others. And with this beautiful thing, and thank you once again for the beautiful movement and beautiful team here as one. And it is One Day, and thank you so much. And I leave here and I present our beautiful founder to have this opportunity for all of us to work together. Here is Abraham.
I want to hear. Tell us about the 12 pillars.
Okay. The 12 pillars is nothing but the 9 planets, sun and moon, and earth as a body. So it's like kind of the body is center, and that is a community development, and rest everything is like kind of spinning each other and beautiful cosmic dance. And one particular planet has got its own character and nature, which can help another one. All planets are actually making the earth to be a beautiful one, and that earth is One Day. This is it. Bye, guys.
Thanks, brother. Thank you, Satya. So that was our president. This is why we split this into 2 episodes, because we have so many amazing people. We don't have enough time to fit everybody in this one episode. But as you just heard from everybody, from Judy to Matthew to Heather to Shiva Kumar to Satya, like we have some amazing, like I am like every day, like I wake up, I was like, I can't believe these amazing people are like not only surrounding me in this vision, but they are like putting their heads and their hearts and their souls into bringing this vision to reality. And it's, you know, it's just what we're causing is something just so deep and so vast. And, you know, most of my life, I was afraid to even ask myself, what is that I deep down, you know, what I saw is possible in the world. You know, I've shared this story a lot on this stage. You know, when I grew up, I didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't feel like I belonged. So most of my life, I wouldn't even dare ask myself, like, what is it that, you know, you have to share? What is your gift? And I would be afraid to even look because I was afraid of people would think of me. They don't like me. I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. And like, that's kind of the point of One Day is like, we all have a gift, even if we don't recognize it. You know, most of my life, I was afraid to even look to consider my gifts because I was afraid if I revealed who I truly was, that people wouldn't accept me. And that's the very point of One Day is when we actually see our gift. In my case, the one thing I was hiding from with my own self-expression of this vision, what I was afraid of sharing was my gift to the world. We all have gifts. We all have things and trials and tribulations and fears and things that we overcome in our experience of life. But I believe when we actually choose to discover and experience and recognize our gift and really just face the fear, face fear is our compass. When we actually face what is in front of us and is scary, that's what opens up the most beautiful things in life, come on the other side of what we're afraid of. And when we do that for ourselves, it transforms our lives. And when we do that with each other, when we can recognize others, not for their fears, not for their pain, not for their suffering, but for who they truly are as a gift, even if they can't even see they have a gift yet. If we see and we identify and we focus and we recognize and we just keep focus on who we are truly, that's when beautiful things can happen. That's when we can actually create something. We can show up in community. We can show up in collaboration, in connection, and there's no limit to what's possible. What diseases can we cure? What new recipes could we concoct? What new scientific discoveries? What spiritual collaborations could we have? This is what excites me. This is what inspires me every day. And for me, that's what One Day makes possible. We can actually show up to ourselves truly and show up to each other truly. And that's where everything and anything is possible. And that's where we're standing. And that's why I'm just so honored and humbled to have such incredible just people just giving their hearts to just bringing this vision to reality and into fruition. So this is just so exciting for me. I'm so glad to introduce you to the directors. I'm gonna bring everybody back right now, including you, Satya, so you can come over here. But I'm gonna bring everybody back here just to have a little bit of a round table. Just hello, here we go. Here's everybody. Hello again, everybody. We have the Brady, almost a full Brady bunch.
Hi.
So I just want to say thank you all for just being who you are and for just standing with us. And as I said earlier, we are only getting started. This is only the foundation. We actually have another episode on Thursday where we're introducing more of our directors. But I just wanted to offer everybody just a chance to kind of to comment on what the other directors shared. But also I just wanted to ask everybody, what is your one day today? Like what is it that you say, like what is it that you do today, or what are you doing today that brings one day here and now, as opposed to someday in the future maybe, but not now? And I just want to open it up for that. But please do share.
For me, Abram, this is Heather. It's really true self-expression. It really is I see the opportunity to really be fully self-expressed in in what I share and what I do and what I offer. And it's it's an enormous opportunity for me to really play full out and not wait until tomorrow to do it, but to acknowledge the magic that we share and the magic that we do all. We're also connected, and it's so intense. It's wonderful, but I feel like I know everybody's forever. And for me, just to get back to that, it's really full self-expression, and I'm grateful to you for that. Very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Heather.
Thanks, Heather. Anybody else? Matthew, how about you?
Well,
Or Judy?
Judy, you can go first. Ladies first.
thanks, Matthew. Well, I just love what Heather said and what she shared. And really, for me, one day is about taking the action today, not waiting until there's a better time, not waiting until the weather's better, or the people better, or you're unsure of yourself, but to be able to jump in with both feet right at the beginning of the fear, to me, is the best way, because the longer you wait, the more fear you have. And so taking that action today, whatever that action is, and it can be very simple little things. And together, those little simple little things are going to create our movement. And I'm so looking forward to, we have so many volunteers and so many things going on, and to continue to build this community until, one day for the world is today.
Beautiful. I love it. How about you, Matthew?
Kind of similar to both Judy and Heather, actually. Self-expression, to me, that comes down to authenticity. Like, to be my true authentic self in every moment, every day, without exception, and to constantly bring greater and greater awareness to the moments when I'm not, and what brought that about. Like, what took me out of that authenticity? Where was I being fake? What belief led me to that moment? And can I find the lie? Can I find the lie that I've been telling myself for probably years at this point, and let it go and step back into authenticity again? And so that's it. And it's a co-creation as well. And we're doing this together. And I love that I don't feel like any of us have the whole picture in our heads, but together, all of us are co-creating one day. And that just makes my heart sing. I love that part.
Oh, that's great.
Absolutely. That's beautiful. Yeah, thank you for sharing. How about I want to say Satya or Siva Kumar, what is one day today for you? What is one day today for you? Since Siva's loading, you can go, brother.
For me, one day today is all about togetherness and sharing what we all have, and is today and now and here. It's here and now concept of one day is, like Judy said, it's not tomorrow or the weather is better or I'm waiting for something. It's now or never. Thank you so much once again. Thank you all. It's a great hearts joining hands together. I have no words. I pass the stick to Shiva Kumar.
How about you, Siva Kumar? What is one day today for you? Can you hear us, Shiva? I think he might be frozen.
Wait, let's do this.
I think-
Shiva, you speak now. You speak now. You're speaking. Okay, it doesn't work.
We're having little technical difficulties, but I'll answer that. I'll answer my own question. You know, one day, well, as I was saying earlier, one day is not a
Where did
someday.
everybody go?
We're here. I see you. So one day is not a someday maybe, but not now. It is not a way of doing. One day is a way of being. It is a community journey. It is a embassy for humanity. It's when we can focus and recognize in our neighbor both human and also possibility of anything and everything beautiful in this world. We're all capable of being, you know, Einstein, Picasso, or you know, any inspirational figure that you've ever heard of. Only ended up that way because they faced their fears. They faced their trials and tribulations. They, you know, the people in humanity who humanity celebrates didn't just end up that way. And the way I see it is one day is an opportunity for us to be and experience ourselves fully, you know. And I'd like to add to something that Heather was saying earlier. This is what I would say is the distinction of what one day is. You know, I may have hair, I may have fingers, I may have fingernails, I may have family, I may have eyebrows, I may have a cat, I may have all a political affiliation, I may or may not have a religion, but when I'm connecting with other people, I am none of those things. I am not any of the things that my mind puts stories and judgments around and the things I inherited. Who I am is much larger than just the things that I thought I was. And most of my life, I was living like I was my story. I was my fears. I was, you know, and like one day is an opportunity for us to actually choose right now to show up to ourselves and to each other. And just in the common goal of us all just having beauty and joy and wonder in every space we exist. Just imagine stepping out your door and there just being flowers and just beauty and experience of music, of love, and just every space you exist. That's not only possible, that's something we can create right now. We can create beauty in every space we exist. We have that power. And when we say, you know, in the past, myself included, will use the term one day as one day I'll be happy, one day we'll get along, one day this will happen, one day that'll happen, while at the same time avoiding any responsibility in any part in that said future. And right now, that's why one day is today, because it is something you and I choose in each and every moment. And when we choose right now love, when we choose right now being our fullest, truest, authentic self, everything is possible. There's nothing that holds us back except for who we thought we were. There's nothing that holds us back except for the illusions that we have convinced ourselves in our identity, our ego, our shadow, our flesh, whatever word you use to point to our smaller selves. Every culture has some version of some word pointing to truth. But truth is not just a word or a knowledge. It is an experience. And when we experience every human as the possibility of the entire world within them, then we actually can create something beautiful, and we can actually get out of our own way. We can recognize how we've held ourselves back, but how we can actually lift ourselves up and each other up. And that's what one day is for me. And today I choose love. Today I choose to see you as who you are and not as who you're not. I see you. I see the love and the possibility and the vast divine expression of the universe within you. And I choose to see that in you. That's when magic can happen. That's when we can actually do amazing things, because we're not held back by you're right or you're wrong, I'm right, you're bad, I'm good. It's like when we just focus on our limited understanding of the universe that our minds can just only one mind can comprehend. We're shutting off everybody else. We're shutting off everything else that's possible when we think we understand everything solely in our heads, in our mind. Like in an ever expanding world and universe and everything in this multidimensional world that we exist in, I know that I can't know everything in my head. I know I can't know the answers, but it's when I set aside that I think I can know everything, that I think I can, that I'm solely right. I'm solely good. I of all humans know what's best at all times. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm good, you're bad. If that's where my stance is as an individual, as a community, as a culture, then I'm just shooting myself in the foot, because I know when my neighbor is healthy and my neighbor is safe, so am I. I know when my neighbor is experiencing love and experiencing joy and beauty, that it comes back to me. And that's ultimately what One Day is. We create the beauty that we experience in the world. And there's no, and everything, all the toxicity that exists in our physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual space, it goes somewhere. If we just sweep it under the rug, it's going to come back to us. And that includes the homeless person who's asking for food. That includes the woman who doesn't have shelter. That includes the woman who isn't getting education. It's like we all, when we are only as good or as great as how we treat the smallest and least of us. And One Day is that the common denominator is human, and we all thrive when each of us thrives. When we're all well off, when we're all better off, we're all better off. And that's
Beautiful.
One Day. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Beautiful, Abram.
Oh, thank you. Any last thoughts anybody has? I feel like I could talk with you all for hours about this.
First, please kindly go into Facebook page and share it, like it, and spread the word around, so the One Day can be much more stronger in a group area.
Yes, absolutely. Please do share
Yes.
One Day with your friends. We're only getting started, and this is just the beginning.
And if I could add, if any of this, what we've shared today, touches anyone's hearts, and you want to be involved, please do go on the website, onedaymovement.org, and volunteer, because we need all of us to make this successful.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to take this moment really quick to just share again what our vision here at One Day is. Our vision is humanity rising in a connected world, with each person's unique contributions being valued and magnified through a higher level of collaboration, producing unprecedented new realms of possibility. That's what each of us are doing here today, and that's what we're standing in. That's how we create a future. That's how we live into the future that we all love and experience, just the biggest and greatest joys imaginable, or even things we can't even imagine are possible when we stand for what is possible, not for what's holding us back, not on being right or being good or just having all the answers. It's not about what I think in my head. It's about what's possible right now. Right now, we choose to grow into something, a new era, a new paradigm, a new conversation, that the world is full of humans who are full of possibility, who, when we plant, each of us have a unique gift, a unique genius, a unique contribution. We each, with every action we take, with every breath we take, we have the ability to choose to plant seeds of joy in everywhere we exist, plant seeds of beauty in everywhere we exist. And when each of us chooses together to water those seeds, to provide sun for those seeds, we all reap the benefits of the fruits and flowers of our shared human connection, of the seeds of human possibility. So I just want to take this moment again to thank you all. This is just so exciting for me to share with you what we're up to, and this is only beginning. We just let the cat out of the bag. Like, this is not even, you haven't heard even the last of it. This is just beginning. I'm just so honored and humbled by you all. Thank you, Judy, Heather, Shiva Kumar, Satya, Matthew. We have more directors joining us on Thursday, so you're going to get more more of the party is going to be here on Thursday, and it's just such a thrill. We're such a wild ride that we're just getting started. Is there anything else anyone would like to say before we end this episode?
50th virtual stage. Yay.
We made it to 50.
Yay. Yay.
Yay. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. This has been such an honor for me, and just thank you for who you're being, and to all of our audience and people viewing. I invite you to share your story, to share your gift, to share your unique contribution on this virtual stage here. There's a link on the bottom of the screen, but that's why we're here. That's how we create this. We all show up, we vulnerably share what we've experienced, authentically just share ourselves, and it allows everybody to see themselves in us. And when we actually can see in every neighbor and every human ourselves, and our neighbor can see themselves in us, that's when we can actually, the conversations of division, the conversations of separateness just disappear, because it's the conversation that makes reality what we experience. So as always, and as I always end off, I love you all. I'm really just grateful and honored about just being here with you, but just what's to come. It just excites me. But as always, one day is today. I love you all. Be
Love
safe,
you.
be well.
One love, one heart,
Bye
one
bye.
big, one heart.
We'll see you on Thursday. One day is today. Bye, everybody.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.